Hello, Miss J. Welcome to my final virtual speech. I have decided to target a particularly important topic that involves everyone, whether or not politics agree that it is a real issue. It is. So, without further ado, I'd like to tackle greenhouse gases and how you can change your day-to-day activities, whether or not you think it's important, to lower your carbon footprint. So, without further ado, the globe is warming on average of 0.13 degrees Fahrenheit per decade since 1880. And that doesn't seem like a lot, but since then, from 1981 to now, it has doubled. So, and the Earth has like a sweet spot. So if you get too high or too low in its optimum temperature, then everything gets thrown off and things don't work the way they used to. So the rise in temperatures is causing horrible side effects that result in oceans rising and becoming acidic, as well as other climates shifting. If we continue to contribute greenhouse gases, our world will become unsuitable to us. If you're wondering what greenhouse gases are, they trap heat and make the planet warmer, and it's not something that we can see or necessarily feel, so it's long term. That's how we know things are changing. This is caused by human activities which contribute to it, and the largest source of greenhouse gas emissions is from burning fossil fuels for electricity, heat, and transportation, which are things all humans use except for maybe in third world countries. So an increase in temperature affect crops and agriculture, sea levels, wildlife, and insects. So if there are more insects, then there's more disease in the crops and soil infertility, and everything gets thrown off if just one of those categories gets affected. The world is experiencing more droughts, wildfires, and more public health concerns such as disease. Case in point, coronavirus. The transportation sector alone generates the largest amount of greenhouse gas emissions at 28.2%, and that was in 2018. Greenhouse gas emissions come from burning fuel for cars, trucks, ships, trains, and planes. Over 90% of fuel is petroleum-based, so that would be your gasoline and fuel, and petroleum is very finite. So we can keep drilling all we want, but when we get to the bottom of the barrel, there's no more left. We're going to have to find an alternative anyway. So what I am persuading and offering as an option to you is alternative transportation, which can ultimately lower your greenhouse gas emissions. Whether you think it does or not, just a little bit helps. Electric cars is the first way. These use electric motors instead of internal combustion engines. It has a large traction battery which powers the motor, so you just have to plug it into electric outlet, so electricity powers it instead of fossil fuels. Because it's electric, there is no exhaust, so you're reducing your carbon footprint that way. There are also hybrid cars, which are powered by both internal combustion engine and an electric motor. So it uses stored energy from batteries that are within it, and the battery is charged through regenerative braking and by the engine. So all around, it's just a better car for fuel economy. Now, if you can't really afford to get one of these nicer cars that lower your carbon footprint, you can look into trains, which, according to a UK blog, greenhouse gas emissions per kilometer on railways is 80% less than cars, and it's faster and cheaper, so there's less interruptions. However, there are more people contact. So take that how you will. And then the final suggestion I have to you is your own legs or your own wheels, walking and biking. Here's why. One, there's no emissions. You cannot fight with that. There's no emissions. It's free. No money is involved whatsoever unless you count like buying a bike or like parking your bike in a big city somewhere. It can increase your health and happiness, and it can reduce traffic. So in the long run, it can save your city money. So you can propose this to them and they would be all for it. Recent reports found that traffic jams can cost major cities $3.3 billion each year. Just go talk to any politician and they would have a problem with that. So cutting traffic can be beneficial to the town budget and be beneficial to your health. And all of these options can reduce your carbon footprint, which overall can help your planet that you live on. Thank you.